Hi grade 11s, welcome back to another one of our video lessons. So today we're going to continue on page 176. We're going to look at shopping mall floor plans and theatre seating plans. And then we're going to continue on to assembly instructions. Alright, cool. So let's start with the shopping mall floor plans. So most shopping centers and cities today have center guides that contain a plan of the center and the store finder, which lists the names of all the shops according to the codes on the floor plan. Alright guys, I'm sure you've all seen these. You walk into a shopping mall and there's a big screen, and usually it's a touch screen, and it shows you the layout of the shopping mall, and then you can search for a particular store and it will bring up the screen and show you where you are and where the store is and how you need to walk and get there. Okay. In addition, a center guide may divide the shop's names according to categories with a key that explains the symbols used for other facilities. Alright, the Gardens Shopping Centre in Cape Town consists of two levels as shown below. Alright, so we have two floor plans, obviously for level 1 and level 2. You can see that your elevators and your stairs coincide on the floor plans, obviously because you need the stairs to get from one to another. So you can use that to kind of align your different levels. Okay, but here it's quite clear they just go on top of each other. You can see that clearly. Alright, so answer the questions based on the floor plan and center guide above. Alright guys, so I want you to work through exercise 2. It's just looking at the floor plan, figuring out where you need to go, where are the toilets, what are the different keys, how do I get from this shop to that shop, and so on. Okay, so work through exercise 2. It's not very difficult. Let's now look at theatre seating plans. Theatres are designed in such a way that everyone watching the show has a good unobstructed view of the stage. For this reason, the floor is usually stepped, so that the rows at the back of the theatre are much higher than those in the front. Okay guys, the same thing is with your cinemas. Okay, you go out to watch a movie in, say, Eastgate or Sandton, it's the same thing. You go in there and you can see the seats kind of go down because you don't want to block the person behind you or his view, or the guy in front, you don't want him to block your view. Same thing happens in concert theaters and like music performances and so on. Even stadiums, think of stadiums, the same thing. They're always tiered upwards so that everyone can see what's going on. All right. This old theatre in downtown Johannesburg was a popular venue for theatre productions in the 1940s and 50s. Today it is used as both a cinema and a theatre. The theatre has 6 exit points marked E1 to E6 and 3 toilet facilities access points to which are labeled T1 to T3. Alright guys, so obviously we've got 1 toilet at the back, 2 on the sides, and E1 to E6 are our entrances to the theatre. Okay, the stages at the front. Okay guys, we're not going to do exercise 3. It's a very long and tedious exercise and we're just going to leave it out for now. And we'll come back to it if there's still time at the end of the year, but it's not a really important exercise anyway. But I do want you to work through exercise 2. Okay, cool guys. The next one is assembly instructions. Okay, so a lot of the furniture that you do buy doesn't always come assembled. Okay, a lot of the time you walk into a store and you'll see a nice desk or a table and it looks, fancy there, but when you buy it, it comes in a pre-packaged box. Why does that happen? Well, obviously there's shipping costs. Okay, so they can't ship a table fully assembled for you. And yes, the store can assemble it for you, but they're going to charge you per hour labor and they'll charge you for delivery and things like that. So it's often useful to be able to assemble these things yourself because they're not very difficult. You just got to understand how you're putting this puzzle together or this cupboard or whatever. Look at the key provided and follow the instructions. Guys, a lot of people think that they don't need to follow the instructions. Like say you're assembling a shower unit or something like that. You know how many times people put things upside down or the doors upside down because they don't know what to look out for. But in the instructions they say, oh, this thing must be at the top left, and then this piece looks the same as that, but this one goes at the bottom, that one goes at the top. All right, so the point here is that you need to be able to read these little inserts and how to assemble furniture or whatever it is you're assembling. Okay. So let's look at the worked example. So it says Maxwell and his wife have purchased some flat pack furniture for their new house. One of the items is a wooden storage cabinet. All right, so if we look at the pictures there, we have the wooden storage cabinet. It consists of a bunch of pieces that are provided for you. There's the components. Okay, we got A, B, C, D, and E. And they tell you in 3 steps how to assemble this piece together. It shows you which pieces to put where. All right. Number 1, according to the instructions, the pack contains 5 different components, but it does not state how many of each type of component is included in the pack. Study the assembly diagram and complete the table. Okay guys, so don't look on the next page into the solution. Let's look at this diagram and try to figure it out. So component A, what is that? Okay, so if we look at the component A, what does that A component look like? Well, it looks like the top of the table, right? So we could call it tabletop. How many of those are there? There's only one. Okay, so there's only one tabletop. Okay, let's look at B. The part B looks like long pieces, okay, long pieces of wood. Those are the only 2 side pieces that we have, okay. So those are the left and right side pieces onto the which the tabletop goes onto. So B, what can we call those? We can call them side walls, okay, or sides of the cabinet. How many are there? There's 2 of them, left and a right. Okay, great. Let's look at C. What is C? It's a square looking piece of maybe wood or whatever it's made of. Well, what could that be? Well, it's not the top shelf. We already have that because it looks different to that. It's the 2 bottom little shelves. Okay, so we can call them shelves. How many are there? There's 2. Okay, great. D are little squares. Okay, what are those little squares? Well, they are the cabinet feet. Okay, so call them cabinet foot or feet. And how many are there? Well, in the picture we can see 3, but we know there's another side to the square, which means that there are 4 cabinet feet. And E looks like little dowel sticks or dowel pins. Okay, how many are there? Well, let's look at the diagram. Let's count how many dowel pins do we have. Well, in step 1, there's 2 dowel pins for each one of the legs. So that's already 8 there. In step 2, there's 2 shelves and we need 6 for each one. So that's already 12. So 12 plus 8 is already 20. And for step 3, for the tabletop, we need another 6. So that is 26 in total. Okay, and we can put that for E quantity. Right, number 2, the assembly instructions do not contain any written instructions. Write a short instruction that could accompany each of these 3 steps. All right, so you basically writing simple directions of what you need to do to assemble this unit. Okay, you're not writing an essay. It's not a work of art. It's just basic, simple instructions that anyone can understand. Okay, so for step 1, what are we doing? We need to say that we need to attach the feet to the side panels of the cabinet. Okay, so insert the dowel pins into the side cabinets and follow by putting the feet on top of them. Okay, let's see what they say in step 1 answer. Join the feet of the cabinet to the side panels using 2 wooden pins on each foot. One edge of the side panel has 3 drilled holes equally spaced, while the other edge has 4 holes. Okay, so what they're talking about, remember, the side panels have 4 holes drilled into it for the feet, and into the sides 3 holes on each side for the shelves. Okay, the 4-holed side is the edge onto which the feet must be connected. Apply pressure to the both bottom sides of the feet to secure them in place. Alright, so quite detailed instructions actually, so let's try to give better instructions for number 2. Alright, for step 2 we can say that, alright, so once we've attached the feet to the side panels, then insert the dowel pins into the 3 drilled holes of the sides of the cabinet and apply pressure onto the 2 sides of the cabinet in order to secure the shelves in the middle in place or something like that. Guys, the point is that when you're describing this, it's got to make sense. It doesn't have to flow as a great story. It just needs to make sense. And now, if I ask you to describe this for, let's say, 9 marks, okay, so that's 3 marks per step. I want at least 3 things that I need to be doing. You can't just say, oh, attach feet onto cabinet, okay, or put in shelves, okay. You got to explain how you do it. So look at the mark allocation to give me enough detail. All right, and then step number 3, we're going to, well, let's see what the answer was for step 2. Turn the side panels with feet connected the right way up and connect the shelves to one side panel. The shelves line up with the side panel on the 3 drilled holes. Use the 3 dowel pins to connect the edges of the shelf to the side panel, and repeat on the same side panel with the other shelf. Connect the second side panel to the other side of the shelf so that the basic shelf structure is secured. All right, cool. So they've gone into way too much detail there, but I suppose it's necessary if you want to in detail describe what is going on. All right, for step number 3, we've assembled our cabinet. All we need to do is we need to place the top shelf, the tabletop of the cabinet on top. So we could say that place the remaining 6 dowel pins into the holes of the top of the cabinet, and then apply pressure with the cabinet shelf to secure it in place, or something like that. Okay. Number 3, using 6 dowel pins, connect the top of the cabinet to the upper edges of the side panels. Okay. Guys, with this kind of question, I'll accept a variety of answers just as long as I understand what you're trying to tell me. All right, exercise 4 is what I want you to do. So exercise 4 looks at exactly the same type of assembly. Here we're not assembling a cupboard, we're assembling a little table with the top. So let's quickly go through this exercise. So Maxwell also purchased a small table for his patio. This table consists of the wooden top, a table leg, a metal tabletop support, and a plastic base. The assembly instructions shown here only show the first, third, and fourth step in the assembly process. Study the assembly instructions for this table and answer the questions that follow. All right, so what's basically going on here is that we are missing one of the steps, which is step 2. So in step 1, or rather they show you in that first diagram the finished product. Then they show you how many pieces of what you're getting, and then it goes into step 3 already. So in step 2, we've done something. So in order to figure out what we've done, look at step number 3 and see what pieces have been already put together. So that's already what has been done in step 2. So guys, I want you to work through exercise 4, see what you come up with. And then in the next lesson, we're going to get onto unit 2, which is models. Okay, so here we're going to be talking about packing arrangements. We're going to be packing things into boxes. And you basically need to figure out how many of a certain item can fit into this box. Okay, even a good example would be, say, food parcels, right? Let's say we're packing food parcels for the less fortunate or whatever, and we have a box of these dimensions. We have tin cans of, say, soup or whatever it is that we're giving, but they are also of certain dimensions. I say to you, the radius of this can is this much, the height of this can is this much. How many of these cans can I safely pack into this box? Or what size box do I need in order to pack 20 cans into this box? Okay, questions like that. So that's what we're going to be looking at next in Unit 2 models. And after that, once we've done with those packing arrangements, we've done with that section, which will take us to the next section, which is finance and taxation. Okay. All right, guys, so let's leave it at that. Please work through exercise 2. You can skip exercise 3, and I want you to do exercise 4. And we will continue with Unit 2 models next week. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I'll see you next time.